Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Akil, and I just got back from watching Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And honestly, guys, I have to say that I was a little bit disappointed. I won't say that I was very disappointed, but when I came out of the movie theater, my first thought was they could have done that a little bit better. So I'm just gonna jump right into it right now. So to start off with, for my pre-rating score, I'm going to say that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a good movie, guys. Yes, it's a good movie. It's not a great movie, unfortunately. I just think it's good. So yeah. So in terms of the story of this movie, without really spoiling too much, because boy oh boy, there's some things that I wish I could say but I can't. Which I know some of you may know, some of you may not know, and that's great. If you do, for those of you who don't know, that's great. For those of you who do know, like me, thanks to people on YouTube spoiling stuff, which I know I should have avoided YouTube, but it is what it is. I was more interested in other stuff. I didn't intentionally look at spoilers, which people might think I do, but no, I don't. But anyway, story of this movie is pretty much Doctor Strange and America Chavez and Scarlet Witch and Wong and a bunch of other characters being involved in this multiversal type of plot. And in terms of that aspect, it was a little bit underwhelming, but in terms of where they go with the characters, I thought it was very good, very interesting, and that's all I'll say about the movie. The best way I can describe this movie is Spider-Man No Way Home, but a little more intense, a little more darker, and it definitely feels like a horror movie at times, and I love that. Now, as someone who has only seen four of Sam Raimi's films, no, I have not seen the Evil Dead films, and I probably won't. They're not my personal type of films. I know they're great, but they're not just for me. They're not for me, but from what I have seen, Sam Raimi knows what he's doing, and he brought his visual style like what he did to Oscar Graham Powerful for this movie, and it's pretty damn good, I would say. And of course, Danny Elfman's there too. The music is great too, and I'll talk about that right now because in terms of positives, let's talk about that right now. Music was an instant standout for me. The music was great. I love Danny Elfman's score. Once again, this man is killing it, and he's one of my favorite composers. I love the guy. He's awesome, but he's no Hans Zimmer. For me, Hans Zimmer is my all-time favorite composer. Another thing in terms of positives was the acting. Everyone in this movie was great. Yes, even Sochi Gomez was great. But for me, it has to be Elizabeth Olsen. Benedict Cumberbatch was great, but she just had so much range. She was great. She was scary when she needed to be. She was badass when she needed to be. And she was like calm, cool, collective when she also needed to be. And she was great. Benedict Cumberbatch is second best in terms of acting, but she was the star of this movie, in my opinion. And even though she's not the title character, she stole the show. She was amazing in this movie, and she's one of my favorite in terms of the MCU now. In terms of performances, I loved uh, Escal, which I think Elizabeth Olsen is great. And then finally, for positives, the visuals. The visuals were amazing. I love the visuals in this movie. I thought they were great, and it carries over from the first film. And while I'm not the biggest fan actually of the first film, I still think the visuals in that film, I still thought I should say the visuals in that movie were great. Here, the visuals definitely they step it up a notch, especially when they travel through the multiverses. You kind of see that in the trailer. Without really spoiling too much, it's pretty damn cool, I would say, for the most part. So yeah, now let's talk about the negatives because this is where I feel the movie might divide some people. Because to me, I don't think the movie is perfect, and I think many of us can agree going into it that we didn't think it was going to be perfect because of the short runtime. And that's something I do want to talk about. This movie is short. If it was longer, I would have loved it. But because it's 2 hours and 6 minutes with credits, it is short. Another thing, speaking of pacing, because of that, it's fast paced. This movie is very fast. For right from the moment the movie started, it just went and never stopped. And I like movies like that, but this movie was too fast at times. It was really, really fast, and I honestly thought they could have slowed it down and increased the runtime a little bit, but it is what it is. And finally, it is lacking some character depth. Some parts were just bare bone basic. I wanted a little more in terms of some characters, a little more maybe from Wong. Again, they kind of, as people have said, they kind of underutilize him, but he's still great, I would have to say. Even more a bit too. But overall, I still enjoyed myself. Final score for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, a 7 out of 10. I do recommend watching it in theaters and probably on the biggest screen possible for that full multiverse experience. But keep in mind, you're not going to get so many cameos. For me, I'm still happy what I got. Yes, I wanted maybe two more, maybe, and I'm not going to spoil because if you watch the movie, you might think they're in the movie, so there's that. But or anyway, you get the point. Point is that I still enjoyed it. So next up for reviews, it's Jurassic World Dominion, which comes out next month. And then there's also Lightyear, which also comes out next month. But then there's a bunch of shows coming up this month. Obi-Wan, Stranger Things, there's a show on Amazon Prime. I'll see if I have time to watch all those. Also, don't forget to check out my One Piece Season 8 review if you haven't already, if those interested. But anyway, guys, that's it. I enjoyed myself. It's a good movie, not the greatest film, but Sam Raimi did his best. So that's all I can say for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. What do you guys think about the film in the comments down? Tell me in the comments down below. My name's Akil, otherwise known as the comic director, and I'm signing out.